All right, it says the Hangout on Air is live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome again to Astronomy Daily Live. It's 2 hours UTC, and it's time again to gather together. Group of friends here, get together on sort of a virtual porch. We grab our consumables of choice. I've got the HOH tonight. The hydrogen hydroxide, and it is wonderful as usual. So cheers. So welcome everybody. I'll take a couple minutes here, let everybody wander on in. So this is just a casual, fun get together of friends from around the world who share, a common passion for the science of astronomy, science in general, technology, space, all those kinds of things. Lots and lots of different stuff. Try to keep it, leaning towards the astronomical stuff, but tangents are allowed here, no problem at all. So yeah, great. Everybody can come in. This live stream is pretty much daily. Once in a while, I'm not able to be here, so cancel. I try, to let you know far in advance. Sometimes I can't, but most of the time I actually can. So, but this is for everyone, right? This is for new people who are just coming into astronomy. It's for the amateurs. It's for the advanced amateurs. It's for the professionals, right? This is for everyone. I like to cover things at all levels, because that is one of the great things about astronomy, is that it is so approachable, right? You can come at this from almost any angle, almost any level, and really think it's great. So one of the other great things about it is that you can advance and advance and advance. You can learn more and more and more and more, and there's no ceiling, right? It's like a straight up rocket shot. Speaking of rocket shots, there was a SpaceX launch earlier today. Looked like it was successful. This was the one where they had to lob the satellite so far out that they had to use up a lot of their fuel in the first stage. They actually burned. So I guess a normal first stage burn is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and they went 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So the extra 20 seconds of burn, I guess, burned enough fuel such that they weren't able to re-enter that first stage, which is always a bummer, and even more so now, because we've seen SpaceX and Blue Origin. I think those are the only two that that are lobbing these things up there and then landing at least the first stages back down. So pretty extraordinary there. So yeah, so this is just for everyone. The science of astronomy is very, very broad and very, very deep, right? So it makes for a lot of area to cover, so yeah, whatever level you're at, you are extremely welcome here. And having said that, I'm gonna check the chat really quick. Okay, so yeah, so that's just it. I just updated the solstice command with Nightbot. So now it's showing the June solstice 2019, which is going to be happening on June 21st. I think around 15, I forget now exactly, 15, like 1535 UTC. So we've got, you know, set your watches, right? We've got 5 months, 29 days and a couple hours until the summer solstice for the north and the winter solstice for the south. So yeah, essentially 6 months to go. So each and every day now in the north here will be getting longer and longer and longer, and those of you in the south, the days are going to be getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So that's how it goes. Solstice is done. Yay. We can move on. The equinox is coming up. Did I do that one? Yeah. 2 months, 24 days. So yeah, somewhere around March 20th, March 21st, something like that. So yeah, that'll be the next sort of exciting day. And in the panel once again is Bobby. Hey, Bobby, what's going on?
Nothing much. It's been like a great, exciting pre-Christmas weekend.
Nice, nice. So you posted an interesting thing over on the Discord server, and I went over there. I sort of glanced at it, but really didn't read it in depth. So do you want to give sort of a synopsis and go into details if you want, whatever you want to do?
Okay, so about a few of those YouTube creators, if you want to click on me, I'm going to share my screen.
Yep, you're there.
All right, and then all right, get this out of here. Okay, I'm screen sharing. Okay, so the YouTube users are becoming increasingly frustrated with the platform's handling of copyright complaints. Legitimate videos are being claimed or removed based on false claims, either by automated mistakes or intentional abuse. Perhaps it's time for YouTube to hold music copyright holders responsible for their actions. So, so for quite some time, it has been a major growing source of frustration, and it has becoming more vocal for the recent months. It's also far from new. They also they torrent this. The guys that did the article is called Torrent Freak. First signaled the problems with the content ID system about 7 years ago, and since then, many examples have followed. So, for example, like if you posted like content about bird chatter, it's gonna get flagged. And then they stumbled a video with 50 hours of rain sounds, flagged by 5 separate right shareholders. It's familiar, but it's query unique. So excuse the language on that. I'm beyond control with that.
The fat rat.
So while some of the mistakes are expected to happen, it's about to get worse. There's more and more being appeared. So like for the fat rat, for example, he found out that some of his songs are theirs, and they are pushing that to someone else.
Huh, wow.
And this song had millions of views, so it's not just like a major concern. And so what they do is he disputed it, but the claimant said, no, this, I don't know what it means by rejecting it. He can appeal it, but it will risk a strike. If that fails, there's another appeal option if it enters DMCA territory. Should it be appealed, The claimant had to file a regular takedown request, which will pretty much resolve the strike. The holder can file a counter notice, and if the claimant does not file a lawsuit within 2 weeks, he can have his video back. And it's kind of like a hassle right here. So
yeah, of course that's a hassle.
yeah. So while that doesn't help, YouTube keeps preferring the false claimants as the copyright owners. It happened to this dude named Dan Bill, who had a similar false claim last week, saying that he owns the sun, not somebody else. So, as said in his tweet, it's like it's not clear where the problem lies. This song was reportedly infringing a track from Andreas Gabas, who does not know Power Records or Ramjets, which YouTube lists as a claimant. In November, Drew Golden was hit by his own self. So that happened, and it doesn't seem unimaginable that are abusing that policy to generate revenue by claiming videos of others. It shows that it's a mess, which seriously can hurt legitimate users.
Right, of course.
And I didn't see this video, but it shows you that not all false claims through automatic explanation. There are some manual claims that has resulted as an error as well. It's mentioning that the title orders of a song can resolve a claim even though the audio itself isn't used in the video. As it points out, this mess does not have to do with Article 13 by the European Union. It's already out of bounds. We can easily continue to point the mistakes and false claims day after day, but is it time for a change? So, and during a hearing at Canada, MP David Graham rightly noted that YouTube currently operates a guilty before until proven innocent system. They didn't dispute this, but gave no indication that this could be reversed. While innocent until proven guilty sounds better for the creators, copyright owners are not going to like that one bit. They spoke to the EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and cheers, who have been critical of YouTube systems for years. According to EFF's legal director, Corian McSherry, the copyright strike are particularly problematic. Though the strike, channel owners are risking losing their livelihoods after 3 complaints. They only apply after a direct copyright takedown request, not through content activity flags, but it's a major concern. What might happen if copyright owners will repeatedly abuse the content ID system or penalize as well. So McSherry said that YouTube could improve handling copyright complaints by actively identifying and excluding from content ID right holders that abuse it. They also protect the channels that are great actors. So, like, Google takedown procedure appears to work with a whitelist of non-infringing domain names. They could do the same with YouTube. It is clear that it's in a difficult spot with major right holders asking for tougher measures and YouTube complaining about the same. They can take a good look at the policies and systems, see if queer abuse can be addressed and prevented. They say earlier this month the YouTube support team was looking into it, but nothing has changed from that. The Fat Rat said it was the final straw. He launched a petition urging YouTube to fix the system, with 22K already signed it. And I think if I was you, I would definitely sign it as well. So go to that link on the Discord and look for this link, and maybe YouTube will reconsider its demands.
Yeah, it sort of seems to me. Thanks, Bobby. It sort of seems to me that you know, YouTube doesn't really know what to do with this yet, right? Because and what they are doing, they're sort of messing up. So yeah, it's a hopefully all this is just some growing pains, right? YouTube has been around for a long time, and um, in fact, I think I first got onto YouTube in 2006, 2007 or so, pretty much almost right when it started. Um, Maybe it was around a little bit sooner than that, but not too soon. And now YouTube is a sort of a major force, right? It's a major force, um, and it's having to deal with things that maybe they didn't really anticipate all that well, and so yeah, it's a little weird. Things don't seem to be working right. For instance, if you get a strike against yourself, right? You've got a creator who makes music, right? And they play their music on their YouTube channel. It sort of looks like sometimes they're getting hit for their own thing. So yeah, it's a complicated thing. YouTube is going to have to step up or something. Yeah, it's complicated, right? It's not doesn't seem to be um, easy, but you know, letting YouTube know that they should do something about it, that's probably a good thing. So, petitions are a good way to do that. So yeah, cool. Very interesting. It's yeah, it's sort of an ongoing thing. Um, I do I do sort of agree with the innocent until proven guilty thing, right? That seems to work really well. Um, so is that going um, to hold up here? Well, don't know. That puts the burden on the accuser, right? And the accuser doesn't necessarily want that burden, but at the same time, should YouTube really be policing that? And I don't know. At first thought, it's like YouTube is a platform for video. So it's like, well, why don't they just do that? Why should YouTube have to be the police at all? Maybe that's the answer, right? It's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess the problem with that, right, is that now that they're sort of in it, right, they've got all these ads, they have all these sponsors, they have everything else, and those sponsors are probably not going to be too happy, with sort of a hands-off policy. So yeah, I think YouTube is evolving, and hopefully it's evolving for the better. Maybe this is sort of the beginning of the end of YouTube. I don't know.
Okay, well, if you can check the chat, Uncle Bill Durant posted some comments about YouTube and stuff.
Oh, okay. Hey there, Uncle Bill. Nice to see you.
Yeah, yo, Uncle Bill.
Yeah. It is an automated thing, and that puts the burden on the programmers, and that's a tough nut. That's a really tough nut to crack, especially if the programmers really aren't very good, or you know, are lazy programmers, and you know, they're not paying attention to things, you know, whatever. You know, when it comes to algorithms, being a programmer myself, what I always say is that if I can figure it out, right, then I should be able to tell either someone else or something else, like a computer, how to do that too, right? And if I can't, right, if I can, you know, like in this example, right, if I can go through a bunch of YouTube videos and very, very easily say, no, that's a copyright infringement. No, that one's not. This one is. This one's not. Da 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 da. If it's sort of that easy, right?
It's just
then,
like President Trump is falsely accusing CNN for fake news.
yeah, yeah. You know, you know. But I mean, my point is that, you know, if I can identify a copyright infringement, then the algorithm to do that exists, right? It's somewhere in here, right? I just need to you know, get it out, so I can give instructions to a machine to do exactly the same thing, and that, you know, oftentimes isn't easy, right? Um, uh, but at least in my experience, it can be done. You know, whenever I'm tackling, you know, some kind of a difficult programming challenge, that's what I always think of. It's like, okay, sit back, you know, how would you do it, right? You know, what exactly are you doing to figure that out? And if I can figure out exactly what steps I'm taking, right, to do that, then I should be able to, you know, write that list of instructions down and tell a machine to do it. So I think, you know, it can be done, but it's definitely a tough nut.
You
So
know
yeah,
something? If there's ever were off to be a YouTube alternative that doesn't have the things that YouTube's got, but can and will make it, I think YouTube will be overpowered by that system that actually would know better than YouTube.
yeah, you know, the that's how it goes. You know, the best one usually, you know, the best thing is the thing that actually gets ahead of everything else and dominates, right? You know, if YouTube can't figure this
Right now,
out,
YouTube is actually number one, but it's super abusive, and there's no number two.
hmm, well, there's a couple, right? There's Vimeo. There's yeah. Well, I mean, there's Facebook, right? They have a video thing, but that's probably even more of a disaster. I don't know. Yeah, don't know. Don't know. We'll have to see how that goes, and yeah, you
Even
know.
I texted Jills and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and even he knows that is a messed up system.
Yeah, yeah. I think, you know, our participation, um, you know, whatever we want to do, is probably worthwhile. You know, because I mean, you know, I'm for, you know, making everything better, right? So making the creators better, making YouTube better, you know, everything,
I mean,
right?
like for example, if I go ahead and like live stream a wrestling event, and you know, like some, I don't know, like when they do their entrance, they like to have their own music and stuff. They come there and file a complaint. I think not just me, but I think the whole organization will be pissed.
Yeah, yeah, it's sort of a weird thing. So yeah, like I said, I think this well, it's not a new problem, but it's a problem that hasn't been solved yet, and because it's hard. I mean, I guess it's hard. I don't know if it's hard or not. Don't know. How uh, you just have to clarify what the rules are, and then be consistent, right? And if there's a mistake, right, like getting a strike, like a copyright strike on your own work, um, that seems to be pretty, clearly a mistake. So, you know, erase that, right? And it's kind of funny because that seems pretty easy, to put in some kind of algorithm, right?
And
It's
it's
like,
kind of a bit crazy. They've been doing it for quite some time, and they're yet to fix it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, it's evolving, so let's sort of hope that this platform, either this one or some other one, steps up, uh, and sort of solves this ongoing problem, that obviously has a lot of people frustrated and angry, and signing petitions and all that. It's yeah, I don't know. My thought is that YouTube should probably be more hands off. Stop being the copyright police. Um, Let the people who are concerned, right? If like if I create something, um, and it gets copied and profited from, especially by somebody else. Why is it YouTube's job to do that kind of policing? Why wouldn't it be my job to, I don't know, monitor
Just
those
can tell you
kinds of
about the
things?
Lincolnshire poacher one time.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, well, cool. Let's move on. I actually thought that we would just sort of take it easy tonight and go back over to Mars and take a look at the latest images from the HiRise camera. Now, the HiRise camera is on a satellite that is going around Mars. It's called the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, and they've been doing this for wow, several years now, and they have a huge, absolutely huge catalog of pretty high resolution images, right? Typically, maybe about 50 centimeters, somewhere between like 25 and 50 centimeters per pixel, right? So here's a 1 foot long ruler, and 30 what it's about 30 centimeters or so. So this spacecraft from orbit can see basically a 1 square foot pixel or so, which is extraordinary, right? That means that that spacecraft can see you, can see me. It can see the telescope here. You can see the keyboard. You can see my desk, right? Now, these things are pretty small, right? Me and that and the telescope. Probably wouldn't be able to see that thing, but you know, sitting on a single pixel, but it can see, you know, larger things really, really, really well, really well. And so I like to go over there from time to time and just take a look at sort of the latest pictures that are coming down. So let's go do that. They actually, well, here I will. I'll share the screen and go over there. They they just posted a little while ago. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. The images from the Mars InSight lander. So they actually got pictures of the heat shield. That's that one. And the back shell and parachute and the lander itself. So here's their main site. All right, so I'll post that over onto the chat here really quick, like that. And what I like to do is I like to go to their catalog. There's a whole bunch of other stuff here, data and yeah, just all kinds of things. So it's a great site. I like to just go right to the catalog of images, and this, of course, is the latest one. So let's take a look at that. Let's see, is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah. So here's sort of a wide field view, and you can see the heat shield over here, right on the edge of that crater, and then the back shell and the parachute over here, also right next to a little crater. Just missed it. And then, of course, the lander itself, and you can actually see the solar panels there and a shadow, and you can sort of see the blast area, right? They propulsively landed this thing, you know, just like what the SpaceX does. Landed this thing on Mars, and so, you know, it sort of blasts up a bunch of dirt and debris and everything, and, you know, exhaust, and things get burned a little bit and all that. So there it is, though. It definitely is on the ground, actually pretty close to a pretty big crater here. So but it looks like they came down in a pretty nice spot there. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty cool. All right, let's move on here. Like I said, this is going to be more of just a casual look. So what I like to do is I like to, you know, go through the pictures here, but I also like to look at the titles, because sometimes the titles are really well written. So here's one: The Enduring Charm of Martian Spiders. So they have these, and these are just sort of colorized and fixed and everything else. What I like to do is I like to look at the full frame, black and white, no messing around whatsoever. It's kind of neat too, you know, because they have all the metadata here, right? When the image was taken, what time, where, how far away, you know, the spacecraft was. Here's the image scale, right? So 24.6 centimeters per pixel. So not too bad, not too bad. Phase angle of the sun. Actually, the solar incidence angle, yeah. So very cool. Let's take a look here. This is the one that I like the most because it isn't really tampered with or anything, right? So HiRise takes these images in these big long strips, right? So as it's orbiting Mars, it has a camera that is looking straight down. And gathering this image as it moves across the surface of Mars. And this is a slow loader because these are big images, big images. I'm going to click on it here, right up here.
You should get faster internet.
Yeah, well, one of these days. So here we go. These are the things that they call spiders. These cracky things here. So just pretty amazing. Dark splotches everywhere. Don't know what any of that is. So a very curious mystery as to what all this stuff is. They're probably developing all kinds of explanations and stuff. I hope so. Hope it's still loading. Just taking its sweet old time. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? All these, they look like cracks, right? They look like these weird cracks with these dark things in them. So I don't know what's going on there. Okay, there's the bottom. I'm going to move over and then we'll go back up. So that's moderately interesting. I mean,
welcome Space TV and welcome Mass Entropy.
Hey there, welcome everybody. Welcome.
Space
Mass
TV.
Entropy. Yeah. Cool. Mass Entropy. Nice to see you in the chat. Yeah, good vibes. We're looking at Mars. The UA HiRise has a YouTube channel. Space TV. I'm going to have to check that out. I guess I wasn't aware of that. So I always like to think about, what it must be like to walk around here. What would I see? What would this look like, right? These cracks are, several pixels wide at least. So, we're talking 2 or 3 or 4 feet across, maybe like a meter across, maybe a couple of meters across. So, what does that look like on the ground? Don't know. All right, let's keep going here. So these are kind of neat. So they're calling this Swiss cheese on a red planet. All right. Let's see what that's all about. Martian solar South Polar Cap. Okay, gotcha. So taken last August. Again, good resolution here. So let's see. These patterns are usually pretty astonishing. So we'll let that load a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Wow, look at that. Huh. Yeah. It's just bizarre, to say the least, right? Pretty bizarre looking. And there's these large scale structures, right? These are like little hills here, right? Do you see the shadowing here? So these are little, like bumpy hills that sort of appear pretty periodically, right? Here's one, same distance here to here, same distance here to here, same distance here to here. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. And it almost looks like there's this stuff underneath, right, that's really, really flat, and all these other squiggly things are on top of it. I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea, but it gets pretty crazy here. Look at that. So what would it be like, to be walking around here, right? I mean, what will we see, right? These cliff walls, which look pretty high, right? I mean, just rough estimate, those have got to be at least several meters high, right? So, I mean, it's not anything that you're going to sort of, just step over, right? You're going to have to climb out of this thing. So, and they all sort of seem that way, right? You sort of have to climb out of this. So yeah, round things, and yeah, it's just wild. It's crazy. What a crazy place. I don't know if there are any similar formations on Earth. I really don't know that either. Look at these things, how they sort of curl around. What is going on there? I don't know. Don't know. Oh, so there's a nice flat region, and then, okay, well, it's moving in to something else. I don't know what these are either. Are these impacts of some sort? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, let's go back up here. It's very, very flat. But look at that. I can't tell. Let's see, from the shading, right? If we assume that this is shading, that means the sun is coming in this way, right? From sort of the upper left to the bottom right. So what this means is that this is actually sticking up out of the ground. But I guess the weird thing about that is that there's no shadow there. So maybe we're seeing this in the wrong way. Maybe these flat parts are the high parts, and all these roundy parts are the low parts. It's sometimes really, really hard to uh, see that. So Bobby, do you see like this part as lower than this, sort of going down here, or do you see it going up?
Um, Now show me that part again.
Well, just anywhere, right? I mean, is this round thing here, is this higher than this around it, or is it lower?
Um,
I can't really tell. I mean,
I don't think I can tell either.
yeah, I
But
mean,
on Space TV on their YouTube channel, they sometimes talk about what's in the photo, but most of the time they don't. If there are similar features on Earth, they will mention it. But that was
mm-hmm.
Space TV saying it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, maybe these things are going down, because I'm looking at this
Space TV
thing.
is also saying it's higher for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's for sure or not, because if that's the case, why isn't this thing casting a shadow, right? Because it's being supposedly lit up on this side,
Uncle
right?
Bill Durham says it also depends on the angle of the sun.
Well, that's why I pointed that out, though, right? All these sides are lit, right? So the sun is clearly coming in this way, right? Yeah or no? I don't know. Well, regardless, it's pretty extraordinary up there, over there, I guess I should say. It's not really up. So yeah, pretty amazing pretty amazing. There's some really interesting detail in there. Do you see that? It's kind of weird looking. All right, well, that's the end of that one.
Okay, if the sun's in the upper left, it's up. If the sun's in the lower right, it's down, says Uncle Bill.
Yeah, I totally agree. But the problem with that little feature sticking up out of the ground is that there's no shadow. So I don't know. I don't know. It's sometimes, you know, kind of hard to view these things. All right, let's.
Maybe in different areas, you can see the sun in its upper left.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You know, I sort of agree with that, but I don't know. You know, that little feature there is sort of making a liar out of all liar from all of us. So let's see. Irregular floor in Noctis labyrinthus. Monitoring the south polar residual cap. That's always cool. Monitor low albedo slopes. So that just means dark, right? Low albedo. These kind of look interesting. I wonder what that's.
Ask on in space, TV. What do you mean? Like you could be wrong about the deeper areas and seeing the sun in the upper left?
Yeah, I actually think it's the other way around, for sure. So, okay, let's take a look at this here. Oh, you know what? We didn't look to see. So this was taken on November 1st. Again, about 1 foot per pixel, and so a pretty low solar angle, and the solar longitude is at 280. So that's almost due west, if I read that right. So let's see if that makes sense with the shadows here. I think it does.
Okay. Space TV, sometimes shadows can create optical illusions even at close up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. I don't know what's going on here. Look at these weird looking things. I think some of these, I think they can probably explain as being, you know, the paths of these little dust devils. I don't know if people are too familiar with dust devils. We have them here in southeastern Arizona all the time. They're just like very, 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 very mini tornadoes that just sort of move along the ground. And I guess on Mars they can make these paths. So I'm not quite sure if these are dust devil paths or if there's something else. Can't be sure, of course. Look, they're missing a column there. Look at that. All the way down, they're missing a column. So kind of bumpy terrain. But yeah, these are really kind of weird looking. Let's go all the way down here. I thought I saw some craters. So I don't know if that's a crater or if that's. I think that's a. Isn't that like a? See, I'm not quite sure. Is the sun?
All right. Space TV is asking a question. Does MRO ever record video? He doesn't see any yet.
As far as I know, Space TV, it isn't. However, over on the planetary data system, PDS, MRO does do data releases from time to time, and in their list is a thing that they have labeled video. So I haven't really looked at that all that hard yet. So I've never seen video, but as I said, I've seen it listed. In fact, we can go over there. I can prove it. I can prove what I just said. So yeah, here's data release 47, right? Just came out a couple weeks ago. And I guess it isn't here. Yeah, okay. Maybe I was thinking of something else. But yeah, see, so I'm not seeing video here. Actually, I'm not seeing a lot of HiRise either. Is it MRO that has HiRise? Oh man, now I'm completely here. We're gonna go all the way back.
Video probably takes too much bandwidth with relatively little scientific view.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have the bandwidth to do that, though. Yeah, it is on MRO. And this is, yeah, see, I'm not seeing any HiRise releases here, so maybe we'll have to go back to another release. So here's MRO 46 with HiRise. Let's take a look at that one. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm not seeing video.
Okay, Uncle Bill Doran, why does the fine or fresh removed dust in the dunes and those trails always seem dark compared to the rest of the surface?
Why does the fine or freshly moved dust in the dunes and those trails always seem... Yeah, like I said, Uncle Bill, I'm not quite sure if those are actual trails from dust devils or not. But what you're asking, though, is exactly true. The paths that I've always seen have always looked a little bit darker than the surrounding dirt. So what is going on there? I don't know. Good question.
Space TV is saying maybe it doesn't always. It could just be that place.
Yeah, very, very true. And I'm going to load this thing again. We'll come all the way down here. And let's see. So again, it's sort of a optical trick. Is this coming out of the screen, or is it going into the screen? Don't know, right? If it's a solar angle, solar longitude of 280 degrees, I'm not quite sure which way is which, but 280, I guess, would sort of imply if things are being lit up over here, then the sun has got to be, this has either got to be going down, and so the sun would be over here, or it's got to be going up, and the sun is over here. So I don't know. I don't know if that is going up or down. I just don't know. It's too hard to tell. It's just sort of a fun thing to...
because they add a lot of contrast to the image just to make it more obvious. And Uncle Bill Duran say it's seen it in lots of dunes all over the planet. And Space TV, you'll see lots of places with no dunes at all.
Yeah.
Uncle Bill Duran, I don't know if the nature of the dust is those dead winds that can move or not yet bleached by the sun or something else.
Yeah. Don't know. Yeah, I don't know if these are... Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'd have to find out a little bit more whether they think these are dust devil tracks or something else. Hard to tell. Hard to tell just by looking. And I'm just sort of doing what I do here and think out loud. So sometimes thinking out loud, confuses listeners even more. But yeah, pretty amazing though. Pretty amazing. All right, let's keep going here. So these were all released on the 1st of December. So we're still looking at the same release. You can see here there are 58,162 images.
Okay, on the last image, Space TV is saying the sun is on the left.
Well, that's sort of what I think, which means that those round features are actually popping up. Right? It's sort of like a butte. Oh, here we go. Searching for dust devil tracks. That should be interesting. So let's go to this one again. Oh, let's look. Okay, so 31st of October. Nice high res. So again, the sun is probably, I guess, going to be from the left at pretty low incidence, right? 44 degrees. I mean, I guess that's not incredibly low. That's like halfway up. Let's see here. There's a couple.
Okay.
Wow.
Doing HiRise has easily the most jaw-dropping images of Mars, in my opinion, even more beautiful than the images from the surface, says Space TV.
Yeah, Space TV, I have to agree, but I also have to say it's sort of a matter of perspective, right? But, I mean, look on the screen now, right? I mean, you've got this weird stuff here. Look at the curlicue here. Look at ding, 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 ding. We've got some boulders here. Yeah, quite extraordinary and all over the place. Look at this thing. Or maybe it went that way. I don't know which way it went. But wow, it starts getting really messy down here. Look at that. It's sort of a boulder field too. See all those little specks? We can actually, this might be an interesting one to grab and put somewhere else. Let's put it here, live. Let's put it under 181224. Let's save that, and then we can open it. Do we want to do it that way? Yeah. That way we can sort of zoom in a little bit more, which I always like to be able to do. Can really crank on this thing and see. So that's a big boulder field. Look at all those boulders. Pretty amazing. Just rocks everywhere. Now these are just a couple of pixels wide, right? So these boulders are, just a couple of feet in diameter. But wow, they are everywhere. Pretty amazing. Look at that mess. Wow. Look at this big one here. Wow. What is going on there? I don't know. It's kind of interesting that the boulder field and the density of these lines sort of are correlated.
My personal favorite image is titled "Not the Potter's Play." It's so great.
Which one is
that
it?
was taken.
Not the Potter's Clay. Well, let's look. I'll bet you we can find it. Let's see. Do I gotta?
Make sure you use the filters and stuff.
Well, let's just see what happens if I just do a search and go from there. Okay, oh, 0 images, huh? Okay. Guess I'll have to search for that a little bit more in depth. Because it's not coming up here. For some reason. Well, let's do this. You never know. HiRise. I can see that Space TV actually. Well, Space TV, I'm just going to go to your site, if that's okay, and we'll look at it that way. It
was on a video, not on the.
I see. Okay. Let's see if this comes up here. Slow internet somewhere. There it goes. Let's look for not the Potter's Clay. This one? Well, not right now. Okay, so here's the actual source. I like to go to the source if I can. Whoop. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. It's going to do it itself. Clay-rich terrain in a degraded crater. Okay. Yeah. Pretty amazing. These, of course, are the colorized images, which they can do. So I don't know if this is true color or not. Can't be sure. Can't be sure. But yeah, absolutely fabulous. Pretty fantastic. Nice.
And
nice,
actually
nice,
done in 4K too.
Sweet. Yeah, these sand dunes here, or dunes as they call them. I don't know if they're actual sand
it's
or
kind
not.
of a bit crazy. I think we're still handling 1080p. We're not ready for 4K yet.
Well, I definitely am not. I can probably increase this a little bit. Let's see if that brings my poor system to its knees here. Yeah, what a just incredible diversity too, right? You got dunes, you got mountains, you got craters, you got dunes in the craters. Yeah, pretty spectacular. Wow. I like it. It looks like flows here, right? Just flowing. I don't know if it actually did at one time or is. Don't know. Lots of mysteries up there. Look how flat that is. Some more dunes. Here's this weird thing going over a crater. Look at that. Pretty cool. Cool. Nice. All right.
Yeah, very nice, TV.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go back to this guy. So I want to keep looking at these dust devils a little bit longer. They're pretty intriguing. All right. There's a nice spirally one. Look at this. What is going on there? I don't know. The other thing that I'm not quite sure, and I might be able to find out if they've ever, seen these things form, right? Take a picture like this and then come back, in a couple days and see if there's any new ones, right? So yeah, I think these dark paths, I think, are still kind of a mystery, right? I think they want to call them dust devil paths, but wow, there's a lot of dust devils. But, supposedly Mars has had a lot of time to do this. So, yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell. But it's nice to have mysteries out there. Let's see. Lava. So there's a crater after the dust storm. Just monitoring things. Let's see. Let's go to the next page here. Crater with steep slopes. Possible rock falls on steep slopes. Yeah, wow, those are extremely steep. Let's look at this crater with steep slopes. Let's see. So this was done on the 31st of October also. And again, the solar angle is about the same as it has been for all of these guys. So let's take a look here. See what this steep sloped crater looks like. Ooh, all right.
I'm not sure what was the image, but if you saw the image, you might think it's the surface of a rubber with cracks.
Mm-hmm. So here's some weird-looking sand dunes right in the middle of the crater, right on the bottom. But again, okay, look, so this is definitely a crater, right? I mean, they're calling it a crater. And since the light is on this side, the sun has to be coming from the right. It has to, right? If this is going in, then what we're seeing here is the sunlit side. So 279 degrees longitude of the sun is over to the right, for sure. So pretty amazing, though. Pretty cool. Lots of action going on here. You can see some boulders down here. Sometimes you can see actually the paths of boulders as they roll down this. I don't really see anything here like that. The resolution isn't quite good enough to be able to see that, but that's a nice round crater, though. Pretty amazing. Rises up on the edges a little bit. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I guess I'm kind of interested in this one too. These steep slopes. So again, the same solar longitude. I hope, yeah, maybe it's this phase angle. I'm not quite sure. Let's take a look at it anyway. So kind of bumpy, kind of a weird looking landscape, and then this big gash right through it. Wow. So that is definitely a shadow, right? So sun's got to be coming in this way, hitting the side over here, casting a shadow here. I like to look at the shadows because you can really get a sense of the profile, right? This bumpy thing here, right, is definitely that, right? So we definitely know that the sun is coming in just like that. But it's kind of neat to see, you know, the profile of the shadow, because sometimes you see things that you can't see just by looking at the edge there. Yeah, so what's going on here? It just sort of stops, and then it looks like maybe it carries on over here, huh? And then of course it goes off screen. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. Well, you know, I'm looking at the time and I'm noticing that it's 3:11 UTC, so we've gone over a little bit here. So why don't we put an end to this live stream for today? I'll check the chat one more time. Make sure everyone is okay. Yeah. Totally. All right. Well, cool. I think I'm going to get out of here for now. So thanks everybody for coming in, sharing some views of Mars, and we definitely, you know, I like to look at Mars pretty much as often as I can. So, you know, I like to do this, I don't know, you know, every month, every couple of months or so. We go over to the site, see if there's anything new, and take a look, and just sort of thinking out loud here. So, all right, cool. I think it's time to get out of here. So take care, everybody. Have a great evening, a great day. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. You can hit the little bell to get notifications. I think the notifications are kind of working. I hope they are. If you want to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, make some comments. More than anything else, just spread the word about this. This is just a fun, casual get-together where, you know, sort of forget about everything else and focus on, you know, all kinds of astronomical stuff. You know, sometimes it's planets, sometimes it's variable stars, sometimes it's galaxies, sometimes it's constellations or telescopes. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to think about. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here for now. So, take care, everybody. I will see you in a little less than one spin of this tiny little planet we're on. So, you know, don't get dizzy. It's a pretty smooth ride, but you know, and you don't even have to hang on, right? You just sort of stuck here. So that I think is pretty nice. Greatly appreciated, you know, that we're not flung off of this thing. So, all right, everybody, take care. I will see you on the spin. Bye.